And then later on, Jim Fishback had a son. He has a son named Jimmy Fishback, and he was a junior Speedway champion when he was like a 12-year-old. And Jim Fishback raced juniors, and then he kind of stopped for a few years, and then he got into Speedway. I remember I used to like talk with him when he first got back into Speedway over at the Grand, and Jimmy Fishback, the son, was really nice.
Hey, I'm Jimmy Fishback and I race Speedway. We're down here at Costa Mesa for the second round this year, 2018, for the Harley Night. A couple weeks ago we had the 50-year anniversary Jack Milne Cup. I kind of struggled here for a few years, but I've been off the bike for 5 or 6 years and trying to make a comeback. Costa Mesa, I've always had a little thing. It's just hard for me and my riding style to get used to this small track. You know, 10 years ago, it took me probably 2 years to get this track dialed and get it set to where I could actually ride it and ride it hard and aggressive. So being off for 5 or 6 years, I'm trying to come back. I think I'm going through that same struggle. You know, the past years, I've always been on a Jawa long stroke, Jawa chassis. This year, I'm on a GM short stroke, Stewa chassis. So just trying to get the bike dialed. We just, not really bike problems, but just carburetor problems. You know, I think we got that squared away and figured out. But we're getting there. We're making a lot of progress. Costa Mesa is just, it's Costa Mesa. The track's always perfect. It's real tight, real little. The guys are standing right here on the back straightaway. They can pretty much reach their hands over the crash wall almost. And it's a packed night every night, you know. Definitely feed off of it. You can definitely hear them out there screaming and cheering and yelling. And the thing I like is the racing's real close. You know, for instance, if you go to Paris, it's a bigger track. The guys are spread out a lot. You know, here on this tight track, you can get side by side, and all four of the guys pretty much are right there in a ball. So it makes racing a lot more excitement, and even for us too. You know, it gets kind of sketchy at sometimes, but you got to have that adrenaline. You got to have that, or I wouldn't be here. Anything can happen at any given time. You know what I mean? And we all go out there and try and be safe and ride safe with each other. That stuff does happen, and it happens a lot more here, I think, because we're so close together. One guy bobbles, screws up or something, and it affects everybody. But just got to be on your toes at all times.
And he's a little bit smaller than his papa, Jim, the animal. And they call him the little animal, Jimmy Fishback. And he was a good rider. You know, he just had his papa's genes on a Speedway bike for sure. And Jimmy Fishback was a really like a hard charger. And he was good. And I got a chance to kind of meet him and talk with him. And he was a lot nicer to me than his papa, let me tell you.